today?
It feels like pressure almost, like pressure to like get out and enjoy it while I'm here.
I think it's supposed to be nice all weekend though. So we have a few more days.
Yeah. I know it's hard because it gets dark outside so quickly. So by the time I'm done with work, it's dark. I can't do anything outside. So.
Exactly. Yeah, I know a lot of people that are like taking a break in the middle of the day and then coming back to work in the evening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That'd be the way to do it. Well, is it Arya that's joining us?
I'm sorry?
Can you say your name real quick?
Yeah, my name is Arya Kshirsagar. My surname is very difficult to pronounce.
Welcome. Have you joined
Thank you.
before, or is this all new?
No, this is my first time that I'm joining.
Nice.
Yes.
Yay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Can you say that again, Kristen? You were broken up.
What are you hoping to get out of the class so we can try and meet what you're looking for?
So actually, I've learned Bharatanatyam as I was a kid, a long back actually. And after that, I've been learning a little bit of contemporary whenever I could, because I mean, I'm here since almost a month now. And before that in India, I was working. So I did not used to get a lot of time to, join a proper intensive dance class. But now here I am and I have a lot of time in my hand. So I wanted to continue with something, and this felt like a perfect fusion, ballet and Bharatanatyam. So, and I've never tried ballet before. So that I'm really excited about.
Well, I bet you'll notice a lot of parallels.
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes, for sure.
I bet you'll notice a lot of parallels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I watched a couple of videos of you all as well. It was very exciting to see all the choreography and all the events.
Awesome. Well, let us know what we can do to help you out to make this class even more perfect for you.
Sure. Thank you.
So I think it looks like we're live on YouTube. So we'll go ahead and get started. As usual, for those that have joined us before, we do a half an hour of each style. We switch each week with the goal of kind of being able to compare and contrast these like two traditional styles from different parts of the world. We want this to be a class that anyone can drop in live with us, whether that's through YouTube or Zoom, but our previous classes are always uploaded on YouTube. So if there's something that you want to go over in more detail, we welcome you to kind of check out the previous classes where we've like progressed. We started at the beginning and have been progressing through. But as always, ask us questions if you're feeling unsure and joining us live. How's that for an intro?
Good.
Very good.
I don't remember which style. I never remember which one we're doing.
I think we started with ballet last week.
Do we want to quick do introductions?
Yes.
Okay, I will start. I am Anjali. I'm one of the Bharatanatyam teachers, and I go by she, her.
Hi, I'm Shruti. I'm one of the Bharatanatyam instructor, and I also go by she, her.
Hi, I'm Anita. I'm another Bharatanatyam instructor, and I go by she, her.
And
I am
sorry, you go, Jackie.
I'm Jackie. I'm one of the ballet instructors. I use the pronoun she, her.
I'm Kristen. I'm also ballet. I use she, her. That's something that we've noticed on Zoom, that like we'll kind of wait for each other to talk and then end up like talking over each other all the time. Yeah, awesome.
So I guess
All
we'll
right.
get started then. Yeah, if you
Which
want to take it away.
style do we say first?
Bharatanatyam, I think, is first.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yes. Uh-huh.
And I think SAATH is the host today.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think they should.
Oh,
Yeah.
now Shruti's the host.
Now I'm the host.
Nice, thank you.
Over to Anjali.
Perfect. Give me 1 second here. All right. we'll get started. We'll start with, let me just adjust this, with Namaskaram. So we do Namaskaram at the beginning of end of class. It is kind of our offering that we perform at the beginning and end. We'll kind of go through it slowly. I'll still do the counts. Try to follow along as best as you can. I'll start us off with the first two hands. Correct. Yep, you got it. Okay. Everyone looks great. I'll kind of judge by how I'm seeing how we're all doing today. Okay. Dalangu takadimi takatadeginatom takadimi takajanu 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 tam. Great. You guys all look great. I actually have mine on gallery view. I can see you guys. Okay. So we usually start our class for Bharatanatyam with Nade as a warm-up, which means to walk. So just a review of walking quickly, just to help us through. Again, you're going to want to keep your hands at your back. You don't want your hands to be peeking out. You want to maintain and keep that good posture. You don't want your elbows to be going too far back. And one way you can see that is if you see a side profile. They should be nice and straight to the side. And any of the exercises we do today, just always remember that as we're going along, I might remind you, but try to remind yourself to just roll your shoulders and set them down. And it relieves a lot of the tension up here in your neck and your shoulder and your back. So for walking, all we'll be doing is we'll be giving a little, we're going to be folding our foot and giving a little spring in our step. And we're going to be going from heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe, and so on and so forth. When we typically do this, we start in a corner of the room and we do a slower speed and then a faster speed. Anita will be watching us, and so if she has any feedback, she'll also include that. Okay? And I'll be saying the same thing I was earlier. Talangu takadimi takadadinginatum takadimi takajanu 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 takadimi. All right, we'll do that one more time. So again, find a nice space wherever in the back of the space that you're in. We'll do that slightly faster. Maybe today we'll still keep it at a relatively normal pace. Okay? Same thing one more time. Talangu takadimi takadadinginatum takadimi takajanu 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 takadimi. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Shruti and Anita, what do you guys want to start with today?
Not to do.
Okay, we'll get started with not to do. We'll start with the first and second. So Shruti, I think you can pin yourself. So just as like a quick review, today we'll mostly be focusing on Natadavu, which is, again, Nata is our second Adavu that we're doing. We'll be putting our legs straight to the side. When you do that, you want to pick up your leg and put your heel out, and you want to bring it back and stamp with intention. And those are the feet. The hands are going to be combining with it is, you're going to keep them up in Natya Ramba position. Great. And each time that your leg goes out, yep, your hand is going to flip as well. So the first one is just going to be one on each side. So right, stamp, left, stamp. And the second one is going to be two on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the third one, which we learned, so those are the first two, we'll just review the first four right now. The third one is going to be one on the right side, so same that you just did, one on the right side, one on the left side. Your right toe is going to come behind your left foot. Yep, and your wrist is going to be face down, and you're going to tap that when your wrist will go down when you tap on that right foot. Then you'll step on your left foot and your wrist will turn up, and your right will come out again, and then you'll stamp. So the second half of it's what you've done. Same on, so that was one iteration of the right side. For the left side, it'll be one on the left, one on the right. You'll come back with your left toe and that hand face down, stamp on your right, and that wrist flips up, and then back out to the left and stamp back in place again. So that's one full, iteration of that on the left side. The fourth one is going to be kind of what 2 and 1 did for each other. It's going to be 2 on the right, 2 on the left. Now, when you bring that right toe back, you'll do right, left, and then you'll do again the right toe and the left foot. I'm just going to pause here for a second, Shruti, if you want to go back to that one more time. So that was what the foot did. The hand is similarly going to flip face down, face up, face down, face up. So you're just doing that same action together twice. And then you're going to go out to the right again twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the left quickly, it will be left 2, 2 on the right. Come back on the left toe, stamp on the right, again the left toe, and stamping on the right, and then out to the left twice. All right. Okay, so we're going to start with those 4. And what we did last week, we'll do something very similar. We're going to do all 4 of those in order with just first speed. We'll take a pause there, and then we'll do that same iteration with second speed. We're not going to mix first and second speed together yet. We'll just do everything first. Okay, so everyone find a space. When I can see you guys are ready, I'll start. All right, looking good. Okay. Dalangu takadimi takatadinginato te yum ta te yum ta te yum ta te yum ta again te yum ta te yum ta te yum ta te yum ta. Let's do second. Te yum ta 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 te yum ta. Third. Te yum ta te yum ta te yum ta te yum ta. Left. Te yum ta te yum ta te yum ta te yum ta. Fourth. Te yum ta 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 te yum ta. Left. Te yum ta 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 te yum ta. That was great. You guys all looked very coordinated. Again, I have you guys on the gallery view, so almost looks like I'm watching a performance. Great, this looked great. Everyone kept going all the way through fourth, which was great to see. Just small things to keep in mind, 2 important things. For Nadia Ramba position, just as a review, Shruti, I think you're still pinned if you want to show. Just remember to keep that elbow a little bit curved. So again, that exercise that we learned a couple weeks ago, when we first started this, was to roll the shoulders back. If you want to take 2 steps forward, Shruti, maybe just kind of roll the shoulders back. And when you raise the arms, you just want to make sure that your shoulders are still pretty low. So you want to just raise the elbow and get a nice curve with the hand. So almost as if it's pulling your fingertips. So you have a tension in the arm, but you don't want the shoulders to rise up towards the ears. Yeah, you don't want that. So that's one thing. And then the second thing I'll give you to remember is just always remember to sit. If you think you're sitting, you can always sit lower. Is like kind of the rule. Okay, we'll do that one more time and we'll just do it a little bit faster. Same sequence of all 4 in a row, okay? Give it a couple seconds, take a couple of deep breaths. Great. Talangu takadimi takata dinginatom te yum ta ta te yum ta 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 2 te yum ta ta te yum ta 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 3 te yum ta ta te yum ta te yum ta ta te yum ta left te yum ta ta te yum ta te yum ta ta te yum ta 4 te yum ta ta te yum ta 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 te yum ta ta sit down te yum ta ta te yum ta te yum ta ta te yum ta. Okay, it kind of read you a little late in the game there, but great job. That was really good. I saw you guys implement a little bit of what we talked about previously. All right, so we're going to move on to 5th and 6th. And I think Anita is going to do the Sholukata for this one, and Shruti will also help explain.
All right, so the 5th one, we'll just kind of do a quick review, starting with the legs. So unlike the first 4, instead of going out to the side, you remember you're going to go out to the front. It's really important to make sure that leg that is in Aramundi stays in Aramundi. And then so you'll go, Anjali, could you take a couple of steps back? I can't see your feet. Perfect. Okay, so if you go out, so it goes Teyum, Tatta, you beat. Teyum Ta, you bring that leg in and notice how you beat kind of together like that. And then you do 2 on the side of whichever one that you went forward in. So in this case, you started with right, you're gonna go to do 2 on your right side. So Teyum Tatta, Teyum Ta. Perfect. The same thing on the other leg as well. So you go front, Teyum Tatta, Teyum Ta, and then 2 on your left. Hands, we did Kataka Mukaha. So in the beginning, you'll kind of go down to Kataka. So Teyum, right? So you bring it out, Tatta. Teyum Ta, you bring it back to center. Then you'll do your 2 on the right as you would kind of what we've done before. So that is going to be the 5th one. Then the 6th one, which we just learned last week, is super similar. So you're going to start out with the, again, you go in the front, Teyum Tatta, but like the 3rd and the 4th one, now you're going to put that foot behind. You can see where Anjali's doing that. So Teyum Ta, and then it's very much similar to what it was before. So Teyum Tatta, and then Teyum Ta again on the same side. So we can just do hands really quick too. We could, yeah. So that now your hands, you're all going to be in Tripitaka only, which Anjali is showing you. And then so you'll go down, beat, go up, beat. Notice how her hand is curved over her head. Yeah, that's a really nice shape that you're showing there. And then again, so you go down, beat, up, beat, and then you go to the side. And Anjali, if you just want to do left, I just want to, yep. So notice how whenever she goes down, she brings it to her center and then she goes down. She doesn't bring it directly. So kind of your center is your path there. Yep. Perfect. So before I start, I'm just going to make sure everybody's good and doesn't have any questions. I'll just give it a minute. And looks like we're good. So we're going to kind of do the same exercise where we'll go through first slow for both of them, and then we'll kind of take a break and check in after that. So I'll give everybody a minute to get ready. Okay, so let's get into our positions. Talang kutaka dekataka ta dinginatom tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Let's go to the sixth one. So tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. That looked good. You guys are doing really well. Just a reminder too, when you go forward, and you guys are pretty much doing this, make sure to lean that sort of that torso in the front as well. But you're not bending your shoulders, you're not sacrificing that straight posture, but you are kind of going from that lower spine down, I would say. Okay, so I think we can do it faster. So second speed. So talang kutaka dika, get ready. Taka ta dinginatom tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Good. Now, yep, tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Tayum. Ta tayum tam. Okay. Shruti, did you have anything to add? I know that you watched it.
Yeah, it was just like we need to, one tip is just to kind of like maintain the diamond shape that Anjali maintains every time she puts her leg back. And also the half diamond shape when she's kind of like having her hand on the top. Yeah, that was the only thing that I wanted to, yeah. We make sure it's kind of like dropping down. So it's just that we need to make sure that it's kind of like stays there for the entire step.
Yeah, two things I would say, two things that are common that happen is the hand either droops and it comes too close to the head, or it comes, I think Anita mentioned this last week, it comes too far off to the side. So yank it in a little bit, it should be center with your head, but not too close.
Yep.
Okay.
And then additionally, if it was too far over, you'd feel your arm too close to your ear is another good measurement of that.
All right. So I don't know, Anjali and Shruti, what do you think would be a good idea to proceed next?
I think we can do a quick hand gestures. I think it just takes a couple of minutes, so I think we should be good.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, so we have two more Natadavas. I guess I can just mention that briefly. And so we'll be learning that in the coming weeks. But yeah, time for hand gestures. So for those just joining us, this is single-handed gestures. So use a lot of gestures during our dance, as you've kind of seen in Natadava. So I'm going to go through it and stop me if you have any questions. So we have pataka, tripataka, ardha pataka, kartari mukaha, mayurakyo, ardha chandrascha, arala, shukatundakaha, mushtischa, shikarakyascha, kapitta, kataka mukaha, kataka mukaha, kataka mukaha, suchi, chandrakala, padmakosha, sarpashirastadha, mrigashisha, simhamukaha, kangulascha, alapadmakaha, chaturo, भ्रमरश्चैव हंसास्य हंसभक्षकः साम्दांशो मुकुलश्चैव ताम्रचूर त्रिशूलकः. Awesome. We will try with the other hand. It looks like somebody also joined us too, so welcome. We are just wrapping up on our Bharatanatyam segment right now, but we will go into ballet soon. All right. So we're doing single-handed gestures if you want to kind of follow along. Okay. Perfect. So we'll try with the other hand now. So you have pataka, tripataka, ardha pataka, kartari mukaha.
I tote guns, I make number runs. I give MCs the runs dripping. When I put my clip in the AK, I slay from far away. Everybody.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Perfect.
Six cells from the avenue to jail cell. Oh my God, I'm dropping shit like a pigeon. I hope you're listening. Back and grab your pistol, cause if you sit still, I'm gonna make your fucking shit spill. And I'm talking about buckets. What did I
Sorry
have to
guys,
do?
1 second.
I think I'm muting, but the person is unmuted.
Breaking your own something proper. Signing off is the hardcore rap singer, aka rap slinger.
Thank you. Sorry about that, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
My dad's always like freaking out about like security on Zoom.
Yeah. Shruti.
Yep.
Like, you can remove the person.
Yeah, I was trying to, but then the screen was kind of like juggling. So I was kind of like trying to find the name. So again, they were kind of like unmuting it. So I was kind of like, well, fix. Noted
Is
on
there
that.
any concern of like, could they have put like viruses onto our computer?
No,
I'm
no,
probably like way over.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm not a tech person.
You guys can continue, sir.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. So now it's single-handed gestures on the other side. So we have pataka, tripataka, ardha pataka, kartari mukaha, mayurakyo, ardha chandrascha, arala, shukatundakaha, mushtischa, shikarakyascha, kapitta, kataka mukaha, kataka mukaha, kataka mukaha, suchi, chandrakala, padmakosha, Sarpashirasthada Mrigashisha Simhamukha Kangulascha Alapadmakaha Chaturo Ramaraschaiva Hamsasya Hamsabhakshakaha Samdamsho Mukudaschaiva Tamrichuda Trishulakaha. Good job. You guys are doing really good. So good to see that. And that kind of wraps it up, and we'll move on to Namaskaram.
Always the non-dominant hand can feel a little weird in the beginning. So just always, I think it's good that we're practicing both sides, since a lot of these mudras are used in our dance steps. I mean, even in Namaskaram, which we're about to do right now, we have Kataka Mukha and we have it on both hands. So just an example of that. So we do this at the beginning of class, and we'll do it again at the end of class again. It's an offering and to pay our respects. All right. Dalangu takadimi takatadinginatom takadimi takajanu 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 tam. Great. I think we are good on time. We'll switch now to ballet, and you'll be seeing Jackie on screen. So again, Jackie and Kristen are going to be your ballet instructors.
Awesome. So we've been talking lately about finding something to supplement for like a bar. That is a really high-topped chair, Jackie. That's awesome. So I find that your standard chair is a little bit low, which is not ideal because then you're kind of reaching for it. You want something that's about hip level. And you can see how Jackie's just like resting her hand on it. If you don't have something, that's totally fine. We've been doing the majority of this class without a bar substitute. You could just put that hand on your hip. Yeah, something like a countertop, like the like the buffet of a countertop works great, or like a high stool, just something where you're not like reaching down too low for it. We highly recommend that you wear socks while doing ballet, or I see Susie brought her ballet slippers today. Nice. Mine don't fit me anymore. Which is weird that your feet can get bigger in adulthood. But yeah, so we introduced the fondue, which means to melt, last week. So we're going to try to get through all of our typical ballet bar exercises quickly this week so that we can get to fondue. But I suppose we'll also be adding in using fifth position a bit more, right, Jackie? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about adding that in, so we're ready for fondue. So anyone that's new, so like Arya or anyone on YouTube, if fifth position seems like too much, just do it in first. We've added in arms and allongé and head. If all of that seems like too much, just you can put your hands on your hips. You can keep your hands just out in second position. Whatever keeps it really simple. And please feel free to ask any questions you need to feel comfortable jumping in today. How's that sound?
Do you think we should quickly just go through positions again, just so that we can maybe catch Ari up to speed a little bit, and then just remind everyone like what fits the difference between first and fifth?
I think definitely, yeah. Should we do arms really quick too, or is that redundant right now?
I'm okay doing arms as well.
Yeah, let's do it. It's kind of nice to revisit all the basics. Should we start with preparatory then? Yeah. Or well, I guess we'll do feet. Otherwise, how will we know how to stand? So I like to describe it this way. I like to have a start in like a 6th position parallel with your toes and your heels together. And while in this position, we can really think a lot about our posture. For ballet, we want to be very, very lifted. You want to think about like the back of your head, like lifting up to the ceiling. Same as Anjali was talking about with the shoulders, we can apply that to ballet as well. You can roll them up, back, and down. We want the shoulder blades pulling down. And then we also want the rib cage knitting together, it's always described as. So sometimes if you pull the shoulders back too much, you kind of get into that like soldier stance with the chest out. We want to pull the chest back in. And then oftentimes we can either want to like tuck the bottom in or let it kind of like go out to the back. I think women sort of have a tendency to let the bottom go out really far. So we want to tuck the bottom back in by rotating the hips up. And then working down to the knees, we want to think about the kneecaps lifting up. So there's that tiny little muscle like above the knees, and you can see it activate and like pull the kneecaps up. Do you want to relax them and then pull up your kneecaps, Jackie? See how you can see that difference? Like they relax and they pull up. We want them pulled up. Okay, so we're in that 6th position parallel, standing with really, really nice posture. And then we're gonna snap our toes out into first position. So the heels stay together and the toes go apart. We don't wanna overextend any more than what feels comfortable. And everything that we just talked about with posture stays the same as well. Then we've been working a lot in 2nd position as well. So then to get into 2nd position, we point one of our toes as far as it can go, keeping with the ability to like pull that toe off the ground. We want to be able to lift that working leg. And then from there, we roll the toe onto the floor. So there is 2nd position. And then next we have 3rd, but to get to it, we're going to go back into 1st. So we point the toe, drag our foot back into 1st position, and then with the foot on the floor, that right foot that we're using right now, you're going to slide the foot back into 1st. You know all this, Arya, it looks like.
Sorry. So in contemporary, we were taught a little bit of this.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope we're not going too slow for you then.
But thank you for brushing this up because I did not remember any of this.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Our YouTube audience, this will probably be good too because we haven't done it for a while. So 3rd position is very, very rarely used. Yeah. Then we go to from 4th position. Yeah, you just point the toe out front. Is that what you do, Jackie?
Yeah.
We point the toe out to the front so that we can lift that working leg. And then we roll the foot back onto the ground. So your heel is in front of the toe on the opposite foot, and the toe is in front of the heel, like a little ways apart. Yeah. And then we can point that working leg again, that right foot, and pull the foot back into 5th position. So see how Jackie kind of like works the foot to roll back into 5th, where the heel of the front foot is touching the toe on the back foot. So ballet dancers that have been dancing their entire lives, their feet will be like parallel in this position. But for a lot of us, that's not the reality because we don't train for 80 hours a week. And so they're kind of at a little angle here. We never want to like overextend what our body can do. So all of this can be applied to the left foot as well, but maybe should we go into arms just so we can get like our bar exercise today?
Yes.
So the arms, the positions are called different names depending on what kind of like ballet instruction you're following. I know the Vaganova method. She was an instructor that came out of Russia. So this is kind of like the Russian method, but I think there's another Russian instructor too. But so for Vaganova, she called it preparatory position. When the arms are down by our waist, there's a slight curve to the arms. It's almost like a continuous circle from like around the arms, through the shoulders, through the fingertips. A really nice way to train the hand is to touch the tip of the thumb to the first knuckle on the middle finger. So my dance instructor, so I did dance growing up, but not ballet extensively. And then when I was in college, I took ballet from who I thought was a really incredible teacher. And he only offered ballet 1 and 2. So I took it every single year. So year after year, I took ballet 1 and ballet 2 over and over and over again. So I know the beginning stuff really, really well. And he would have us stay in that like thumb to the middle finger. He would have us stay in that position for like weeks. And we were doing ballet twice a day to train the hand to make that like really beautiful hand that ballerinas have. Yeah, so this is preparatory. So then to bring up into first position, the arms don't do anything. The movement only comes from the shoulder, and we raise our hands until it's across from about the sternum. So the shoulders are higher than the elbow's higher than the wrist higher than the fingers. So this is first. Then from first, we can bring the arms out into a second. The same principle applies where only the shoulder moves. And then from second, we can go up into third position. Sorry, I have some distraction happening. My daughter just finished a bath and she tried to go running naked up to the camera. So here is third position. So those are the Vaganova arm positions, and we can do any combination. We can do like one arm in third, one arm in second, one arm in third, one arm in first. Yeah, and that's how we get all of the different arms. Yeah, Hazel's hair is wet. So she was trying to tell you all. All right, should we do pliés then?
Yeah.
Should we go all out with pliés and do them in first, second, fourth, and fifth?
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. This is a big new step. I'll turn my thing to mute since Hazel's chatting a bit here.
Okay, I will, I'll explain. So we'll do the same exercise we've been doing the last few weeks, or last probably a couple months now, where we'll just do 2 demi-pliés and a grand plie. We're gonna do it in first, second, fourth, and fifth. We normally don't do third position, so we won't do third position. I'm gonna angle myself a little bit. So again, if you know the arms, you know the heads, add them in. If you don't, just feel free to keep your hands on your hips, or out in second is a really good place to keep them too. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, Émergé 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, if you don't know that, just feel free to bring them straight out second. And then we'll do demi-plié 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do a grand plie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we'll tendu. We'll do it in second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Grand plie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll tendu. And we'll bring it around to fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll tendu into fifth and do that in fifth as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think we haven't really done grand pliés in fourth or fifth yet. So they're very similar to a grand plie in first position, where your heels are going to come off of the floor. Just a reminder though, we don't like force the heels off the floor. That is a different dance move. but we just want them to come off as soon as you get past that, excuse me, demi-plie, when you can't go any lower without lifting your heels, and then you only let them lift as much as they need. And you're never sitting in the bottom of the plie. You're always keeping your glutes and legs engaged. So unlike in Morumundi, where you can relax, you don't do that in a grand plie. You also aren't hanging out there for very long. So that's good. And so again, the same thing in fifth position, you're just going past that demi-plie, lifting your heels as much as you need, and coming back, finding that demi, and coming back in. Okay. Are there any questions before we?
This might be a good time to give a reminder of sort of like where the arm hits during the kind of, I think specifically during the grand plie is the place where it can get confusing. Maybe we want to go over that since second, fourth, and fifth. Oh, no. First, you know what I mean, right? First, fourth, and fifth are so similar where the feet come off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you do the grand plie, so you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, you're coming into second. 3, 4, you're coming all the way down to grand, or second demi. You come all the way down to ground. Your hand is at that preparatory. 5, 6, it's coming into first, and you should be back at that demi plie. And then 7, 8, when you straighten your legs, it comes back out to second. So again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nice. I know that was always confusing for me. Another thing to think about with doing grand plies in fourth position is it's really, really easy to let like one foot bend or one leg bend more than the other. You really want to drop your pelvis like straight down in between your 2 feet. I remembered that because it's so hard to do. So when we were practicing, I was like, whoa, man. But that's the goal. And this is where having something to hold on to can be really, really helpful.
Hi. So yeah, it's really important to keep your weight sort of evenly distributed in that fourth position. Okay, so let's try it on the right side, and then we can, it's okay if you feel unstable or like this is really difficult. It's our first time for everyone, and just keep pushing through, and then we can go over any questions in between before we do the left side. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, stretch, 3, 4, demi, 5, 6, stretch, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tendu, second, 5, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tendu to fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tendu fifth, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tendu back to first, and breathe. Are there any questions, comments, concerns before we go to the left side or on Zoom? Okay. One thing I just like noticed as I was doing it, another thing about all your plies, but especially I notice it in the fourth position, is like you really need to think about continuing to bring your knees outwards. I think that's probably the one where it's easiest to let them come in. This is much more comfortable than this. So really thinking about bringing them outwards, keeping your knees over your toes in every position, but I think especially that fourth one, it gets a little bit more difficult to do. So thinking about that. Okay, we will do the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tendu second, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tendu to fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tendu to fifth, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tendu to first, allongé, and breathe.
Ooh. Hazel went and got herself a chair and stood next to it just like Jackie was with one hand on it. It was really cute. What do we want to do? I feel like it's really good going through this stuff in fifth.
I wonder if we want to do like time. Oh, did we lose Kristen? We might have lost Kristen. Okay. Well, I think we can move on to tandus next. And I think let's try to do them from fifth, which we've normally been doing them from first. So instead of doing kind of our typical exercise, I just want to focus on kind of getting your body used to doing it in fifth. It does feel much more difficult from fifth position. So it will feel different in your body. I know I feel a lot more kind of instability in my hips doing it from fifth. So it's a really good way to sort of gain some strength. So we'll just do tandu 1, 2, 3, 4 in 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we'll do it to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Toothpaste on your brush.
So we do 5 tandus total. So that means that we're going to close back first when we're coming from the front. So if it's an odd number, you change the fifth position. If it's an even number, you don't change the first one. That might sound confusing. You'll understand maybe in a minute. So you're going to do out 1, 2, 3, 4 in 5, 6, 7, 8, close back. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That gets us on the right way to go to the back. So we're going to do it front side, back side on clock. So out 1, 2, 3, 4 in 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we'll do to the side. We're going to close front this time. Out 1, 2, 3, 4 in 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Questions?
Where's your foot when you go on the back side? Like how do you line it up?
So line my toe up with my heel.
Oh, I
It
meant,
does.
sorry, when you go side to side and do that like front side, yeah, back side, so your toes, it looks like line up with your heel.
That's a really good question. So you're going from basically a fifth position with your right foot front to a
Uh-huh.
fifth position with your left foot front.
Okay.
So that fifth position is like the home base for ballet, because you can do it. First position you can, but fifth position you're more under yourself, and you can go kind of any way from this position, no matter which leg is front, kind of thing. That
Okay.
makes sense.
Yep. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, well, let's just try that. We'll try it and see how it goes. Let's just keep our arms out in second the entire time. And don't worry about your head, just kind of, I want to focus on sort of your body right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, prep, 7, 8, tendu, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, close back, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, front, back, front, to the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, side, 1, 2, 3, 4, close front, 5, 6, 7, 8, back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, allongé, and breathe. Okay, how did that feel for everyone? I see we have Kristen back.
It was a lot harder.
Yes. My computer ran out of battery. Can you give the reminder again? If you're doing an odd number of tendus, you close.
You change.
You
So-
change.
Right. So if you're starting from the front and you're doing an odd number, you go to the back front, right? So you would switch. And if it's an even number, you would stay and then switch. And that'll get you with the right leg, with the correct leg in the correct place.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do the left side, and then I think we're almost out of time. So then we'll do ever on. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, prep, 7, 8, tendu, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, bring it front, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, back, 3, front, 5, back. Did I do that wrong? 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, bring it front, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I led you astray that first round. And allongé and close.
Woo! Feel like a real ballerina doing tendus in and out of fifth position.
I just had another question. When I go back in that side tendu, I noticed that my leg has a tendency to bend almost, like when it goes back. I don't know if it's because, I guess I'm not really sure.
I get it too. Like my
Okay.
friend like bends. Yeah, it automatically kind of like bends.
When you're going to the back.
Yep.
Or when I
stationary-
like, when I
Or
go
doing-
from side, like when I go to the front side, back side, yeah, maybe because it like locks and like kind of like right behind the other. I don't know. It just tends to bend. I'm having trouble keeping it straight.
Stationary like actually tries to bend. Like
Is it
one
the
that's kind of-
standing leg that really
Yeah,
wants to bend, or
I
For
feel
me,
the
working
it's
leg?
the
leg.
working leg.
Oh, I feel the standing leg as well, but I just assume it's
Okay.
because my strength in the standing leg is weak.
I think it's, for me, I notice it too, and I think it's a couple of things. One, I haven't done this in ages, so I do think it's a strength. It's also, I think it's creating that space in your hips and having enough rotation even to bring it in and out more seamlessly. And I also think just being, like for me, being on carpet, I find my foot gets stuck. So that's part of it. But I think the biggest thing you can do is you have to kind of create that space here. So one thing is always making sure that you're not trying to over rotate, only doing a fifth position that's really comfortable for you, and you should have more space to do that. The other thing is making sure that you're really lifting up on everything, because if I'm sinking in my hip, there isn't room for my leg to come in, right? So you have to pull it up for it to have space.
Right, thank you.
My knees are hyperextended too. Like if I fully straighten my leg, my like foot, my knee goes forward, if that makes sense. So I have to consciously be thinking about not bending, but like actually keeping my leg straight instead of hyperextending it. And I don't know what you think about this theory, Jackie, but I feel like ballet, it's like asking the body to do stuff that isn't actually possible. Like it's asking the body to achieve this like really beautifully artistic state of perfection that isn't actually a thing that like the human body can do.
Well,
So
and
we
I
are
think,
asking our bodies to do something that we might not be able to do, especially yet, like until we get like a greater turnout. It might not be something that is truly possible.
yeah, and I also think there is a certain body type that ballet is better suited for. That's not to say that you have to be super skinny to do ballet. I don't think that at all. In fact, I think having different body types gives you different strengths. But I know that I don't really have big hips. And I think when you have bigger hips, it gives you different, or like a wider set pelvis, right? It gives you a little bit more space to do this. Versus if you don't have as wider hips, it doesn't give you as much space. But then you have different challenges of when you have wider hips, your balance is further off. So there's sort of different challenges with different body types. And even like if you have more muscular thighs, like sometimes that space isn't there to fully cross your leg because you have more muscles in your thighs. Like even me in first position, like my calves kind of keep me from being as tight as I think body type can create different challenges and different strengths. And so I think that's another thing too, is that just you have to be mindful of what kind of you're given with, and that doesn't mean you can't do ballet or that you're worse. It just means that it's going to be different in your body. It's like doing yoga and doing a down dog. It feels different in everyone's body, right?
Yeah.
So I just noticed two things. One was the dragging. I think you do it very gracefully. My feet look like I was dragging my feet. That is the first thing. And the second thing was the toe. I could not, I think, curl my toes properly. So, I mean, I know too much to expect on day one, but the way you were curling your toes properly, I think I could not do that properly. So, how exactly should I work on that part?
Like fully pointing through the foot. Is that what you're
Yeah.
asking about?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's been something that we've talked about a bit in here. And I think we've given, what's your thoughts, Jackie?
Yeah, I think we've definitely talked, if you go back to some of our other YouTube videos, we talk about it, I think most weeks, I would say. But one thing we do really talk about our foot alignment, which that will come with time. I think. And then the sort of the gliding that you're talking about, that really comes from actively thinking about like slowly rolling through your foot. That's why I always try to put one really slow one in that exercise so you can focus on it. And then when you get to the faster ones, your foot will be used to doing it. So I think that also will come with time. And I do suggest if you have time to like look at some of our past weeks on YouTube, that will help. And then if you come back next week, we can probably look at it again and help you more too.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Last week we introduced the fondue, but I think like the 2 or 3 weeks before that, we talked a lot about the point. Yeah, and like Jackie said, it's something that will come like every time you do a battement tendu, you're like working on every single time. So it's something that'll just like come with practice and training.
Okay.
And something that I've always liked to do, kind of because it feels good for my feet, is I like fully point my toe and then kind of like push it down on the ground a little bit.
Oh,
Like
okay.
tuck your foot, like I think Jackie's probably still pinned. Like tuck your foot kind of like behind you. Like I push the top of my foot down.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Like the nail of your thumb could, yeah, okay.
Yeah, until I have kind of like a nice burn going on in the
yeah,
in the arch of my foot. Nothing painful, but I think it almost feels good. That's why I do it.
Okay, I got to practice that then. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and are you wearing socks?
Right now I am, but I mean those are fuzzy socks. I don't know if they'll work. I need to get like proper socks. Yeah. I just grabbed whatever was there.
Okay, should we do?
Thanks.
Oh, I was just gonna say probably the first class video would have that in detail if you want to look back. If you're like looking through which one to look at, I would start with that one. I think. So.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, but let's do reverence. So we're gonna start with our weight on our left leg. Our left leg will be in kind of like a first position. Our right leg is tucked behind like this and bent. And this is just sort of it's like a bow, and you're thanking your instructors and your fellow students. And if there was an accompanist, you would be thanking them for class. So we just step across, we bring the left leg behind and we curtsy, and then we step across, we bring our right leg behind, we curtsy, and then we'll do the bow. So we bring our legs in parallel, you step across, take your left foot and bow. And then we step across, take your right foot and bow. And then we clap for each other.
Awesome. So kind of like our closing, I don't think there's any other SAATH classes this week, right?
Correct.
Awesome. What are some of our other closing announcements that we have?
So no classes this week, but if you're able to donate, we would really appreciate it. SAATHMN.org/donate. And then if you are watching on YouTube right now, in a banner below, there is some really cool SAATH merchandise. So check that out. And for those of you on our Zoom call, you can just go to SAATHMN.org and navigate to the store tab, and that will show some cool SAATH merch. And I think, am I missing anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Well,
Great class, everybody.
Next
good
week.
class. Thank you for
thank
joining.
you so much.
Aria and Susie on Zoom.
Bye.
For those
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Hazel.